All right. I think we're good.
Okay. All glitches aside, everything's been taken care of.
I think we're good.
All right.
All right. Disclaimer. Don't come to Adele's house because my equipment has never had an issue until I've started podcasting here. Can you tell me why? I'm looking at all this sage. I'm looking at all these other things over there that can be burnt to get rid of the juju.
The juju, the evil eye. I think it's time to bust out the sage.
I think we got to do that. Let's finish.
And
do like the sage burn thing.
Done.
I mean, it was just Ramadan. I made a lot of prayers.
Yeah.
I'm working real hard to like be spiritually at peace with the world.
I was new mooning like 3 nights ago.
Well, it would have been Eid, right?
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So like I was, doing my rituals and everything, and just like trying to bring these new beginnings, which are happening. But you know what? Whenever you start something new, congratulations. Thank you so much. But whenever you start something new, you're gonna get those eyes.
Yeah. And it's about like process. Cutting them off, right?
It's about deflecting.
Okay.
You're never gonna cut them off. And your haters are usually your best motivators because
haters be my motivators.
But really, hold on. If you don't have haters, you're not doing something right.
That's true. You know what? You should take it with a pinch of salt, and you should always think like, you know what? If you have haters, it's actually a positive thing because they're going to be telling you what you're doing wrong.
100%.
Because all the criticism that they give you, the people that are actually following you, it's very tough to give criticism to somebody that you like. Correct?
True.
So when somebody like writes something or gives you some unsolicited advice, which I said that you possibly may get a lot of when you start podcasting.
True.
But when you hear that advice or that negativity from people, use it because actually it's probably something that's positive or that you can improve on, and then be like, you know what? It's a good thing that person wrote that little comment or whatever it was. And it hurts the ego a little bit, but then use that information and then be like, you know what? It was good. Haters actually been crediting and making me better.
And to add to that, if you're people pleasing everyone, then you're not really dishing out authentic stuff. You're just trying to, make the stuff that's like going to be, nice and fluffy and sugar coated and everyone's going to be happy about this. You got to make it a little, not everyone's going to agree with you.
100%. And you got to be like, I like to call it unapologetic. Unapologetically just yourself.
Unapologetic. My word is authentic.
Yeah. Just do what you do. And like at the end of the day, and I think we, as older human beings, I'm not going to reveal your age.
As wiser human beings.
As wiser human beings, you learn that you're never going to be able to please everyone.
No.
And the minute you stop trying is the minute that actually your life starts becoming a lot easier.
True.
And you realize that most people's opinions and pleasing other people doesn't really help you in any other way. You actually lose a lot, and you lose a lot of energy, and you lose a lot of time, and you're like, I did all of this to please all these other people, and at the end of the day, it was like good job.
Have you ever noticed though the most opinionated people are the people who are not doing anything?
Yeah.
Because they got the time to like listen to 22 minutes of me talking. Wow. And then 22 magic number. But like you just listened to 22 minutes of me talking. First of all, thank you because you just gave me a view.
You listened to the whole thing.
You listened to the whole thing. But I mean, what are you doing? I mean, these are the people who have the loudest opinions. The loudest people are often the people who are the most unqualified to give you advice. Yeah. And then the people who are quiet are the people who should be.
Yeah, man.
Can we flip that script, please?
100%. So if you're listening and you have some positive or constructive criticism, it could be negative. I don't mind. I can take it.
Same.
Can you take it?
Thick skin.
Yeah, thick skin.
Thick.
So if you have any feedback or you have anything to tell us, I think that it's very important for us to know.
True.
But it's also just in general, if you feel like your friend in your life or your colleague or whoever it is in your life is doing something good, tell them. Yeah.
Can we talk about crickets?
Crickets.
Crickets.
We have a lot of them in Australia. The real ones.
Okay, no. I'm talking about the people in your life that are crickets.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people, for example, the people who follow you on Instagram and have never liked a single thing that you posted. And I'm just like, wouldn't it be?
I think she's personally affected by this.
No. They're crickets. I'm like, you're not clapping. You're not hating. What are you doing?
Like, double tap.
Not just that. Who are you?
Yeah.
Like, and unfortunately, like, I'm not even going to say, unfortunately, it's the closest people to you. They don't know how to applaud you.
Well, you know what? You know what it is? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news to people that don't know this. Not everyone out there wants the best for you, no matter how close they are to you. It hurts.
That really
It hurts. It hurts because you just like, you want to please everyone around you. And the sound is now breaking up again. So I think it's still working.
I hope so.
Can you hear me in your headphones?
No.
Okay. Well, back to bad juju.
Juju juice.
So again, I'm just going to blame Adele's apartment for this.
You can do that.
All right. We digress. And we're 6.5 minutes in.
Okay. So let's
Let me
dive in.
Let me do a little intro, because Adele, my beautiful, lovely Adele, the great and powerful Adele, has joined me today on today's podcast.
Yay.
And to give a bit of context, if you didn't listen to her podcast, which I'm going to put on my stuff as well,
Honored.
and link to stuff and just combine, like anyone and everyone can get a taste of both of us.
Honored.
So Adele works with me.
Yes, I do.
She's also a beautiful friend of mine.
Yes, fortunately.
And we also vibe on this good level.
We do.
Even though she's from LA and I'm from, I don't even know where I'm from. I was born in Sydney.
Okay.
My parents are from Mauritius, but I've lived all around the world for the last, I don't even know how.
So
I don't
you're
know.
the citizen
I'm a
of
nomad.
a world.
Yeah.
No, you're a citizen of the world.
Citizen of the world.
Got to put that on a passport.
What passport is that? I was just going to ask.
The
Do I
one
get
with the world on it.
Yeah. So, you know what's funny, Adele?
What's up?
So many people, when I started podcasting, right? I'll tell you a few things. Through my experience of podcasting, I had no idea what I was doing. And much like yourself, I was just like, you know what? I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
I like to journal. I like to reflect on things a lot. And I feel like I have a lot of things to put out there to the universe and put out there to the world that maybe one person might resonate with.
True.
And I might be able to help one person's life. And even if nobody listens to this, I just feel like this is a good thing to do for myself. It's like a self-therapy sort of thing.
And you get to reflect on it, right? You get to listen to yourself over and over again.
I hate listening to myself.
God. He spits wisdom and he doesn't like listening to himself. I don't
She
get it.
loves listening to
I
herself.
do.
We have that video of you like, oh my God, I sound
I sound nice.
But to be fair, you do have a great, the LA accent. I think it does it. It does it.
Merca.
America.
Merca.
So again, so many people were like, yeah, I always wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that one day. And I was like, bro, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let me just do it. Let me just take the risk and do it. And I have a podcast about this, and it was just about all the things that we go through in life
Yeah.
that we wish that we had done.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, what's the most painful regret that you're going to have when you're older? Is like looking back, and then there's this saying, and it's something like, the biggest regret you're going to have is when you meet the person that you could have been.
Oh, chills.
Oh.
All my hair grew back.
Yeah, my beard got a bit.
No, that's deep.
It is deep, but at the end of the day, you got to look at it and say like, time's running, baby.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And we're not getting any younger, that's for sure.
We're getting wiser, though.
That's what my niece says, and I just pulled the thing out again.
But we are getting wiser.
We're getting wiser,
We
but
are.
I mean, that doesn't help a lot of things that we aspire to do if we don't do them.
True.
Right? So going back to my original point, so many people contacted me, sent me messages, and I'm sure that you're getting the same thing right now, which is so, it's almost like I'm a proud father moment.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, because, all right, I'll tell the whole story to give it a bit of context, but so many people approached me and said, I've always wanted to do this, I'm going to do this, or how did you do this?
Right.
And I think the important thing is like, I didn't know what I was doing.
True.
I had to figure it out.
True.
I just said to myself, all right, Google's my best friend. Let me try to figure out a way. I mean, there's millions of podcasts out there. There's millions of people podcasting. There's millions of YouTube videos about how to do things.
Yeah.
Whenever I get stuck in life, of course I ask God for help, But at the same time,
But the other G's,
yeah,
Google. We got two G's in life.
GG. The GG. So like, Google solves all your Google solves all your problems. And I went to Google, man. I was like, how do you podcast? How do you record? How do you use this equipment? Like, I knew nothing. And what I did, and I've told some people this story, but I never actually said it out loud on a podcast. And it was a Sunday night, and we're in Qatar now. And Sunday is not a weekend over here.
It's the first day of the week.
It's the first day of it's everyone else's Monday.
Exactly.
But a Sunday is a Sunday for the rest of the world, right? And we're gonna get into the matcha thing too.
Cheers.
The cheers. We always do this. I think this is like a tradition. I'm gonna pretend that I liked it.
Murky. He's drinking murky water right now. Go to the first episode for context.
Matcha is so. It's great. It's great.
It's an acquired taste.
Definitely. Like a river water. Acquiring river water.
If you like river water, matcha might be for you.
Yeah. So, where was I? It was a Sunday night, evening even. I had to work the next day. And this thought, it plagued my mind. It wasn't something that just hit me. It was something that I was thinking about for months. And I was like, and you know those conversations that you continuously have with yourself about something that you really want to do, but you're either too afraid or you don't think you can do it, or you think that there's going to be a perfect time to do it, right? And you know what? I was like, it's Sunday evening. I'm alone. It's like coming into the night. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go. And there's a shop called Kmart, and I think they go to Kmart in America too. Kmart, to give people that don't know what Kmart is, like it's a shop that has everything. And it's open. We have some in Australia that open 24 hours a day. And they literally have everything. You can buy anything you want from there.
Anything and everything. Clothes, underwear, whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Electronics, TVs. We have like Carrefour here, which is pretty similar. Almost. But Kmart is like the G.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I jumped into my car like a lunatic, drove to Kmart, bought a $30 USB mic with a stand with like an arm like this. And it was like $30. It was like the cheapest one there. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. So then I took it home. I set it up on my bed. I didn't have a laptop at the time. I didn't have a working laptop. So I also bought the adapter that adapted from my iPhone to the USB. And then I just
Grassroots.
did it. Yeah, that's it. And I recorded from the phone. And actually, you don't even need that. You know, you could use the mic from your headphones. You could use the mic from the one that Apple gives you or whatever you use. Weird people that use Samsungs.
Who are you people?
Oh, I did it again.
Oops, I did.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. But anyway, you guys wouldn't realize. So, to cut a long story short, because we're already going 14 minutes.
Damn. We're definitely editing this.
Yeah. To cut a long story short, there's never a right time to do something. And you're forever going to be waiting if you're waiting for the right time to do something. So I want to commend you, Adele.
Thank you.
I want to commend you because Adele is one of the people that actually did contact me. And she's like, you know what? I've always been thinking about this too. And not only people that have told her that she should be doing this, but her and herself has said to herself and been like, I want to do this and I'm going to find a way to do it. And it often leads me to, okay, I was in a situation where I didn't have anyone really that I knew that was a podcaster.
Yeah.
Or that knew anything about podcasting or anything like that. So I figured it out myself. What I want to transition this to is that it's important to find people that are doing things that you want. Like-minded people. But at the same time, if you are somebody that does acquire a certain skill or have a bit of, to be honest, I still don't consider myself knowing anything about podcasting.
He lies.
But this is my mentality only because I've come so far, but I don't
he's
realize, not only that, but I don't realize that I've come so far. I'm like, oh yeah, I do know how to put stuff on YouTube. oh yeah, I do know how to set up this mic and where this cable goes and
Sometimes
blah, blah,
you need
blah.
someone like me to come in and be like, you know a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And we often don't give ourselves enough credit.
No.
So note to self.
But it's good to be a mirror to someone else. Like,
Exactly.
it's important to mirror someone. When you see a light in someone, thank them for it. Like, it's so important for me to acknowledge the fact that I don't know anything about what you know. So instead of me trying to figure it out on my own, I mean,
It's okay.
it's
Ask
okay
for
to
help.
ask for help. Exactly.
Ask for help. Help.
100%. 100%. And I think you give the perfect example when you were talking about the time is now, that the best way to do it is the shortest time between an idea and execution.
Yeah.
The shortest time, the shortest
Execute.
possible. Just
Execute.
Do not overthink it.
Yeah.
Because you'll put up the bars by yourself. You'll start being like, not now. I don't have time. Maybe I'm not that great. Maybe I won't resonate with people.
Another thing is, and I wanna make this a point as well. It's never gonna be perfect either.
No.
So many people are like, yeah, but you know, I want the right lighting, and I want to have the video, and I want to have different angles and stuff. And it's like, yeah, you can have all that, but I mean, if you're not doing it to begin with,
Yeah.
like at least work your way towards that.
Practice.
Understand or practice it and get better at it. Because I always say this, and it's like the first time that I ever podcasted on my own, when I was there, I had this idea in my head, like, yeah, this is easy. I can do this. I've always done this, you know, and
Yeah.
I've seen other people do it, and I listen to heaps of podcasts, and I'm a great podcaster.
Yeah.
And then I pressed that record button, and I went 8 Mile, bunny rabbit, froze, like ice.
Flatlined.
Flatline. I choked. I absolutely choked. I don't know what to say. I had all these ideas. I even written down things to say, and I just choked. So credit to you. You're doing a great job podcasting.
Aw.
Really enjoying your content.
Thank
I'm
you.
enjoying it. So I'm actually producing. I'm so proud to
He is my producer. He is.
Look, I even put a cap on today to look more like the part, because like I'm not in the videos of her podcast, but I'm behind the scenes, and every now and then I'm mic'd up, so I'm like,
He's the voice in my head.
I said a little ad lib like, yeah.
And he keeps me going. Like sometimes I get stuck, and then he like gives me that follow-up question, or he gives me that follow-up thought, and that we just bounce off each other. And you know what? It's making it so much more enjoyable.
This is fun.
It is.
This is fun.
It is.
And I also feel like while we're doing it, it's almost like it just feels so natural.
Yeah.
And it feels like there is no pressure. Like the reason why I wanted to, so we filmed, I'm going to tell them a secret, but we filmed another podcast just for Adele before this one.
Coming soon.
Exactly. And I said to myself, like prior to coming here, I was like, you know what, let's do one together. Not only because I'd love to have you on as a guest, but more so the fact that you can just chill.
Yeah.
Because I know the stress of, it's almost like, yeah, it is natural, and natural thoughts are coming out. But people that don't know, trying to think and speak at the same time while you're being recorded, it's tough.
And not being like, like,
Not having to like pause the video. So like we said that we wanted things to be raw and
True.
natural and
True.
authentic.
True.
But at the same time, I feel like it's also a lot of pressure on yourself,
Yeah.
because you're trying to word things in a way that's applicable to people's lives, not just yourself.
True.
And trying to articulate it in a way where they can understand. And at the same time, you're trying to think.
True.
And
At
it's
the
like,
same time.
there's a lot of, it's a lot harder than it looks. And that's the honest truth. But with practice,
True.
you get a lot better. You get a lot better at it. And also, I feel like us just sitting here chilling and doing this podcast, I mean,
It makes it more
it's
comfortable.
more chill, right?
It is. It is. It
More
definitely
chilled.
is. It feels natural.
Natural. So I don't know where we were or what we were saying, but that was a little story about how I started podcasting. But I did want to go back to the fact that Adele is doing a great job,
Aw.
and she's also taken that risk, and she's actually made progress in taking that step. And we've lost our camera, but
There we go.
there we go. Yeah. So just by taking that step, every new podcast that you're going to do is going to get easier, and it's going to feel more comfortable.
True.
But if you never took that step in the first place, if you never asked me for help, if you and being someone that had that skill, I was waiting for somebody to be a podcaster with me. Like I was for a long time just this one guy, and everyone's like, "Oh, good job, bro," or like, "I want to do that," and I'm like, "Yes, come. I need more people." So abundance mindset people.
Oh,
So
100%.
not the poverty mindset. I don't want to be like, I'm the only podcast and no one can do it as good as me. No.
Abundance.
The more people that I can have on board and the more of this
Yes.
is going to help
elevate
all
everything
of
else,
us.
right? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I think I manifested this.
Tell me more.
Okay.
Should we go and burn that thing?
We're going to burn the stage soon. But let me, it was actually very interesting because before I met you, I was at Virgin. The
gym?
mega store in DFC.
Okay.
Okay.
Virgin is a store
It's a store that has like electronics.
sounds, electronics, yeah.
And I was walking around with a friend and I paused at these headphones that were like ridiculous. They're like matcha green. They were like the Apple
Matcha.
It was like this green, it's like light green. And I was like, ooh, this is aesthetic. And then he was like, what would you ever use this for? I'm like, a podcast. I threw it.
All right.
No. It wasn't even a thought till that moment. I saw those headphones and those headphones were screaming podcast. And I was like, and he was like, you want to do a podcast? I was like, yeah. Like it was a whim. It was on a whim.
Yeah.
But then I met you. And then I went on your Instagram. And then
Stalker.
Stalker.
Me. Yeah. Straight.
Wow, we're confessing right now. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud. But I went on your Instagram.
Okay.
Okay. I went on your Instagram, Khaled. And I literally saw that you did a podcast. And I was like, what? Not only did he just get hired at Unit, but this could actually help me. And then I was a little shy. Because, sometimes you're like, you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, you have a skill, I want to use it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to be a leech.
But at the same time, if your intentions are pure, it's like, just like what happened. It was like, you approached me and I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this because I've been waiting for somebody else to do this. So I'm not by myself.
And I literally asked him a simple question. I was like, so what equipment do I need to start a podcast? And he's looking at me like, equipment, girl, I have equipment. And I'm like, wow, this is happening. And then he's like, yeah, when are we coming over so we can do this? And I'm like,
kept pushing you. I'm like, let's do
yes.
it. Come on, next week.
And all my self-doubt was just like, it was stifling me. And then, but then every time he'd be like, so when are we doing this? It would remind me like, it's now or never. It's now or never. And it was honestly just trying to find the time in my schedule.
Of course, yeah.
But,
both of our schedules.
But it's Eid's and the time was ripe. And I was like, I have time. So that little moment in the Virgin Megastore where I was just literally browsing the aisles and I saw those pairs of headphones and something inside me was just like podcast.
Yeah.
But I also have a little bit of a confession.
Okay, tell me.
Okay.
Let me get comfortable.
So when I was younger and people used to ask me what I wanted to be when I grow up, I wanted to be a broadcast journalist. I actually wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be a broadcast.
You want to be famous?
No, not famous. I just wanted to be on, I just wanted to be like the anchors, like the news, either the news anchors or an anchor of a show. But back then there was no podcast. Like this wasn't even a culture. Like it was just, you're on the news. Exactly. Or you're on the Good Morning America show. Like you're just, you're hosting a show, you're doing something. And I took classes of speech. I know I'm cheating here. But I think I just need a confession because I don't want people to think this is like a God-given talent. It is
in a way.
There is something inside me that is comfortable doing this, but I did have some proper training.
Yeah, right.
Like I did listen to myself talk. I have recorded my voice. I have had that cringe moment where I listen back to myself and I'm like, ooh, I sound like that. And I had to work on my S's and my P's and my T's, my plosives. Yes. But it's been kind of part of my journey.
Yeah, right.
And it kind of brought me here.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give a little background.
So she's actually more pro than any of us. Right?
Not really. It was one class. It was one speech class.
Did you take it in LA?
I did, of course.
Of course you did.
The same one that Ryan Seacrest took, by the way.
Oh, really?
In the same college.
Shout out to Ryan Seacrest.
He has a good voice.
He does. He does. Okay. Well, I think we've went around the world. I have some quick fire questions for you.
I love quick fire questions. Oh my goodness, because I'm not prepared for these at all.
Yeah, Adele asked me. She's like, "Can you give me the thing?" I'm like, "No, I want it to be authentic."
Authentic.
Yeah. Your own words.
She begins to sweat.
Your own words. Okay. First and foremost, we work together in the gym,
Yeah.
and Adele's an amazing athlete.
Thank you.
Athlete. I'm going to keep saying athlete.
Wow.
Manifest. Athlete.
Manifest that. Yes.
So you're an amazing athlete. I've seen you train. I've trained you. I've trained with you.
Yeah.
I've competed with you. Wow, that's
know,
crazy.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. What got you into fitness?
Ooh.
Like,
Okay.
was it a lot of people, the journey of like, you know, the weight loss journey,
Yeah.
or like the life changing story, or I wanted to change my, you know, my direction of life? What was it?
Okay. So I was a swimmer before. I was a competitive swimmer. And after in America, usually like once you're 18, you're either going to go college, university, or you're going to go to the Olympics or something. After 18, there's no club team that's going to take you.
Yep.
So unfortunately, I had to stop that journey at 18 because my university that I ended up going to didn't have a swim team.
Okay.
There's always something in me though that craved being a competitive player again.
This is like manifesting too,
I know.
because I just started swimming. My very first podcast is about me going to learn again how to swim.
There it is. But and then in college, you know, I gained freshman 15. I was just unhealthy. I was throwing back, I think 10 coffees a day, eating from canteens.
What's freshman 15?
You never heard of freshman 15?
No.
Okay, so
I'm Australian, bro.
Okay, so in America, when you go to college, it's called a freshman 15. You gain 15 pounds.
Oh, really?
Because you're either in a dorm.
They say that about Doha. They call it the Doha stone. That's what I've
Really?
heard. But I've been like super fit when I come
Because he's
here.
just come like this. It's like it's a faulty product.
But everyone says like you gain a stone, whatever stone is, because I work in kilos. When you come to Doha, they call it a Doha stone. So because things are so accessible,
Yeah.
Talabat,
Exactly.
shout out to Talabat.
You feed us, you fuel us.
You literally just order from your phone, Uber
True.
Eats, the same thing as Uber Eats, and you just like it comes to your
Yeah,
door in
and that's-
20 minutes.
That's freshman 15. You're
Okay.
like, you're either living on campus or you're on campus all day.
Mm.
And what's accessible to you? Mickey D's is your best friend because
Oh,
you're
it's on
like
campus?
bougie on a budget. Yeah, of course. In
right.
America, it's like right across the street. So freshman 15 happened. I graduated with that extra, like that extra fluff.
Extra love.
The extra love, exactly. And I always, so growing up, I had some body
Yeah.
image issues. I was always the thicker, chubbier child.
Yeah, right.
So I was at a fork in the road. I'm either going to go on these fad diets that LA is famous for. Oh my God, take this, do that, and it's going to fall off. Or I'm going to change my lifestyle. It took so much discipline to walk into that gym the first time and look around me, looking at these gorgeous human beings.
LA girls? LA girls?
LA girls and men. That's all I'm
damn.
gonna. Yeah, there's a
Damn,
standard.
They're known for that.
There's a standard.
They're known for that.
So it's the body of a yoga Pilates person, but they're lifting 200 kilos, and you're just like, how is this possible? You know. So I walked into that gym. And I started that lifestyle with a friend, by the way. She was the first person that actually got me to the gym, and then she ditched me after a week. But something just was like, I want to keep going.
Yeah.
And then that eventually moved years and years and years into my life. And then I decided that I wanted to coach what I learned, like with that journey that I've been on. I know that so many people are on, and I kind of wanted to be that guide. Into the
give back your wisdom.
Yeah, true.
Cool.
So, long story short, that's what it was.
Yeah. So much for quick fight. No.
I know. God, we need to like have a time cap, like a ding, a buzzer.
I'm already
You're done.
So when we do the podcast with Adele, I always keep an eye on the time.
Yeah.
Just because I always say like there's a magic number of 22 minutes. Well, we've got to double that now because
Okay.
there's two of us.
Okay,
So let's say 44.
Done.
But
We're
I
gonna
always
cap
give
it.
her like an indication, and I'm like, she wanted to do her first one in 10 to 12 minutes, and I'm like, Adele, not gonna happen.
It didn't happen.
And it was like, it literally hit 22. And I was trying to signal to her, like I wrote on my phone. I'm like, and she's
And
like,
I'm just like, what?
and I'm like, I forgot she was blind, and I was like,
What does it say?
I'm like, Adele, it's on 14 minutes.
It's like, wow, that was fast.
Yeah, but I lost my train of thought. What were we
Quick
talking
fire?
about? Quick fire questions. All right. So we're talking about what got you into fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go something a bit lighter.
Okay.
What's your favorite show right now on
Okay.
Netflix or whatever it is?
Well, I did mention that I'm not watching
Yeah,
TV
she
at the
hasn't watched
moment.
TV for 3 months, and
3
I'm looking at
months
your
and
TV
counting.
right now. I'm going to turn her on as soon as we get done.
But,
Wait, What about your laptop?
No,
Okay.
no, laptop, TV,
Gonna
nothing.
keep her accountable here.
But the last show I did watch
Yes.
that I really, really liked. So are we talking about like trash TV or are we talking about like substance?
Your call.
Okay, so I'm going to do like my guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
so
not even gonna say anything.
the guilty
But
pleasure.
this is judgment here.
Okay, it's Judgment Day. It's D-Day. I love keeping up with the Kardashians.
Well,
Confession. That's it. It's like I will binge watch.
what is it about? Like,
Okay,
honestly, what is it about? Is it just because you can just switch your brain off?
one.
Yeah.
Two, secretly, wow. These girls,
Yeah.
they took over the world.
They did.
I'm sorry, like regardless of who you think they are or what you think they do in their lives, let's be facts. They took over the world.
Yeah.
And they took a bad situation, flipped it on its head, and look where they are now. So
Which bad situation?
Kim K boy.
I mean, she's
There was
had
a
few,
video.
Right? It was
That was the
for her
first
favor,
one.
man.
It did, but it could have not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could've went the other way.
Yeah, so I admire that. So yes. It just
Ray
it
J.
makes
Shout out to Ray J.
my boy. No,
We'll edit this
I
out.
am not condoning this.
We'll edit this out.
Definitely, but yeah, no, they're powerhouses, regardless of your personal
objectively
opinion.
speaking,
They're powerhouses,
Yeah,
and
you got to look at it that way.
And I'm just like,
Look, no disrespect. I mean, do you?
yeah,
And however far they've gotten
Yeah.
at this stage, everybody knows their name, household name.
100%.
And to think that it was like their father that was OJ's
yeah,
friend and lawyer, right?
exactly.
And it was like, that's a long way, man.
It is.
Because people often forget, like, that's where it started.
Yeah,
Not
the case.
Like, wasn't she was Paris Hilton's
Yeah, she was like in her
Stylist?
entourage. No, she was just in her entourage, and she
Alright.
just
How'd I get that job?
no, you just became friends. She became friends with Paris,
Yeah.
and because of like society, of like community, like once you're in that elite, you kind of begin to hang out.
Yeah,
but
right.
she knew how to work it to her favor.
She like overtook Paris Hilton, man.
I think she's
God damn. All right, cool. So it is.
Guilty
All right, give
pleasure.
me something with substance off the top of your head,
with a substance.
just to earn a bit of respect back.
Difficult to earn all that respect
I mean,
back.
let's say all the girls are going to be agreeing with you, and I think like let's be honest. I think a lot of girls out there watch it, and as much as hate as you can throw a lot of shade on the Kardashians. I mean, I have never switched it on and watched it.
Yeah.
But like I've been in a room where it's been on the TV and wanted to kill myself, but at the same time, respect.
You gotta respect it.
Don't hate on me.
But I like the Nat Geo on Netflix.
Yeah, man.
Wow, it makes me feel
Animals,
like a speck of
man.
dust. With the one about the universe,
Oh yeah.
made me feel like a speck of dust, which we are technically speaking. But wow, humbled, put things in a big perspective.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I know the answer to this, but I thought I'd ask it anyway.
Okay.
CrossFit or functional?
I'm in a season in my life. Okay, wait. All honesty.
If you know me, you know like, I don't hate on CrossFit. I think CrossFit's amazing. I think it's like you need to be super skilled, super talented, super strong, super healthy. It's just not my thing.
I respect that. My roots are functional. My roots are functional fitness. Okay, so that is where I started. Okay. But I'm in a season in my life
You are.
where manifesting athlete, right? We're manifesting athlete. And CrossFit athlete to be
CrossFit.
specific. But without my functional background, I wouldn't be the
definitely
athlete I
struggle,
would
right?
be today. So right now in this season of my life, CrossFit baby. Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Pizza or pasta?
Oh, no brainer. Pizza for
Pepperoni?
life. Pepperoni with mushrooms and olives. Thin crust.
Thin crust.
Yeah.
I
We
like
don't
thin
need those
crust.
extra
Yeah. Calories?
No, not even calories. This is taking up space in my stomach.
Yeah,
I want
true.
girl.
I'm not a big fan of like stuffed crust and
No,
stuff like that.
no, just keep it simple. Like get the toppings inside. Oh, and the girl can finish it large by herself on Papa John's.
I haven't had one yet. The beauty of like living here in Qatar is like I can eat everything. So like the things that I'd normally not be able to eat because they'd have pork or ham or something like that. Here I don't have
Halal.
exactly. So I like don't need to worry about anything. So I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And all the American chains are here.
Yeah.
Five Guys, Cheesecake Factory.
But it's halal.
But it's halal. Keeping it halal, brother.
It's been elevated.
So Papa John's.
Papa John's, large pizza, thin crust.
You know what? Let's do a video the next time.
You get a large, I get a large, and we finish it. I can finish a large.
Like for time? Are we going to
No,
do
not
this
for
CrossFit
time.
style?
No, not for time. As many pizzas as possible.
Yeah, as many slices as possible.
Every minute. An imam.
Every slice on the minute, right? Every slice. Are they like New York style pizzas?
They do have a New York style pizza, but I can't finish that. Okay, let's be okay. But the large I can do.
Okay.
On a good day.
We can do a video about it.
While we have to finish the pizza.
Yeah. We'll do like a reveal or like a experience. My first experience. Like this is my second day of matcha. Let's have a matcha juice.
Yes, again. Yes, I love this for us.
So this is my second day of having matcha, and Adele raves on about matcha. So I was here and I was like, well, I have to try it, right? And I'm like, I'm on the fence about it.
I know.
Like, but the thing is, I don't hate it, and I'm very open to different new experiences.
Excellent.
But I mean, I'd still rather my coffee than this. And it was like my next question. I know you would have chosen matcha, so it's like, are you a tea or a coffee person? Let's exclude matcha out of this because we know matcha is the winner.
It's tea because I can't handle coffee. Like there's gotten a point to
You're
my
too
life.
hype.
Can you imagine me with
Bouncing. Adele.
I'd be jumping off the walls. No. The caffeine does not agree with me when it comes to coffee, and I don't like the taste. Like, you know how you tell me this doesn't taste good?
Taste.
Yeah, see? There we go. But I used to drink coffee.
Yeah, right.
Religiously. But
for like there's two types of people that drink coffee, right? I think it's only one really, because if you drink coffee for the taste, legitimately, like you honestly can sit there and say to yourself, I drink coffee for the taste. You're just a psychopath. Because let's just say most human beings on this planet drink coffee for function.
Yes, but I drink matcha for function.
There's caffeine in this, right?
Yeah, of course. Okay, let me tell you why I drink matcha. Tell me. Coffee, you go up and then it slams you back down super quick, correct?
And you have another one.
Right. This is the problem with coffee.
Sustainable.
It has to you have to keep on drinking coffee in order for you to continue. Matcha, on the other hand, is slow release caffeine. It's not going to hit you all at once. This is what I call it. It's a slow ride up. And it doesn't crash. It slowly brings you back down. Yeah. So there's no high and low. It's just a smooth sailing throughout my day. So that's why I genuinely, it's not just because of the taste, which I do love. It's for the benefits as well.
Do you really?
I genuinely do.
It doesn't leave that taste.
There is an aftertaste, but so does coffee.
Yeah, true.
Just pick your poison.
Yeah. All right. We've been on ages, so let's end on this one.
Okay.
Favorite thing about yourself and the least favorite thing about yourself. And we'll keep it at that. I had a lot more, but let's save it for another time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. And I didn't want to give you sort of, I didn't want you to premeditate this answer, which is why I didn't tell you.
You know what's so funny about this? Like when I'm thinking about it, it's easier for me to think about the thing I
bad
don't
things.
like. But one thing I do genuinely appreciate about myself is I genuinely want what's best for others. I want to see people elevate.
I think that's such a hard thing to come by these days.
It's so hard. You're never my competition. You are the person that I want you better than me. I want to aspire to be you.
Genuinely say that from the bottom of your heart. I think it's a great thing, because I think like a lot of people, I want to call them mental masturbators.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And
let me explain the concept of mental masturbation. The idea is that this day and age, there are so many quotes.
Yeah.
There are so many people giving advice, like ourselves, right?
One of them.
But I never try to give unsolicited advice that I wouldn't take myself or I'm not doing already. And I feel like too many people out there are ingesting information and regurgitating that information onto others without actually doing
practicing it.
Exactly. And I feel like the most important part of everything, and going full circle here and talking about like the fact that you decided that you thought about podcasting, you wanted to do podcasting, you always thought you'd be good at it, but you never actually took the step to doing it. So in what regard do you have the right to give anyone else advice or give your opinion on someone else that's actually doing something that you want to do?
True.
Okay, so yeah, and I was always like, to genuinely be able to say, I want to bring everyone in on this, and I want you to do better than what I do.
Yeah.
And this is almost like that proud father moment that I had every time I'm behind the camera now, because I'm a producer.
He is. With the hat. The hat.
I'm going to wear the hat from now on, just
hat.
to like signify I'm the behind the scenes guy. But every time I'm standing behind that camera, and I am participating actively because I am mic'd up. But at the same time, I'm literally just like, while I'm doing the producer thing, because I'm like, he's I'm doing the levels, I'm doing like, I'm making sure everything's cool, and there's like distortion and blah, blah, blah. Because that's what you do as like, no,
that's what you do as a producer. That's what he's trying to say. He's like the
that's
producer.
What I'll say.
Exactly.
But other than that, I have the ability to just sit there and listen to you and watch you evolve and watch you just express your thoughts. And I feel like you are talking to me, but at the same time, you are recording for others, for other people to benefit. But I feel like this is just like a proud moment in admiration that I can just be like, cool, like this is the definition of wanting someone else to do better or to elevate you while you elevate them.
True. And
it's just like this constant bouncing of energy that you're constantly growing from it.
100%.
And it's like, it was almost like this proud moment, and it was like admiration, but at the same time I was proud of myself because I'm like, I have part in this.
You could have easily been like, oh, that's competition. No, I'm not going to help you.
And a lot of people are like
let's be
that,
honest.
right?
Like even let's say gym world, any world, when corporate, whatever. How many people are going to help their competition? Yeah. There's no competition. Let's be honest. There's no competition. But some people have this ingrained in them. It's like, why would I help you get better than me or potentially get better than me? No, that should be your fire. That should be now. There's someone to talk to about this, like to share this.
I'll still do my own podcast where I'm by myself, setting everything up myself. I like, obviously it's not a question of I struggle to have things to talk about, because that's never been the issue. But I feel like it's so much more fun.
Yeah, it is.
And it's more enjoyable because every now and then I can just like chill and just say, okay, Adele,
and you want to bring people along for the ride, right? Sometimes you just want to bring them along for the ride. Yeah, I mean, that's genuinely what I feel is one of my, something I appreciate about myself.
That's good.
Is that I do want to see people elevate. I do want to see people grow. That's a beautiful thing. Grow and glow. That's my kind of my phrase.
Okay.
But the thing.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah. The thing that I want to work on, the area that I feel like I need to grow in.
You snatch. No.
For real.
Everybody said, everyone in the world. If you don't know what a snatch is, just look it up. It's like one of the most complicated movements created in history. And it's part of CrossFit.
CrossFit, it is.
It's
and
an
that's
Olympic weightlifting exercise, but it's now
part of my life.
Yeah.
I brought this upon myself.
Yeah.
But the one thing I really want to grow and work on is stop putting people before myself. This is because...
Did you hear that, guys? Don't be asking Adele for...
Because I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do
you
it.
would. That's the thing, right?
Because I know I would...
You would want that for
myself. Exactly. So you want to put out the energy that you want to receive.
Yeah. But too many people take advantage of that.
But I generally don't have expectations. Like this is even what's worse. Like I think this is even what's worse. It's like I'll give and give and give, and I generally give because I feel like giving.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting anything in return. But then I realize I'm draining myself. Yeah. I'm energy drained. I'm like, and I'm like, why am I tired? When I hang out with someone, and I walk away tired, that's an indication
100%
of, because this person brought nothing to me, and I'm not talking about physical something. I'm talking about nothing to refuel. And then there's sometimes you sit with people for hours and you feel like full.
They give you that.
You're just full. But I'm working on that because it's something that depletes me, and it's something that it's hard for me to say no when someone needs me.
Yes.
Even not just help. I'm not talking about help, but needs my presence in their life. And I'm just like, oh, but they need me. But I mean, when I need that person,
where you at? Crickets again.
Those crickets. It's a lonely place, you know. But like I said,
It's a dance. It's definitely a dance.
And you have to shift your perspective. At the end of the day, am I doing this to get something in return? No. So I have to constantly remind myself that. But at the same time, does it drain me? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's this dance. Like you said, it's a dance between like wanting to keep the energy good out there in the universe so that you keep on receiving this abundance. But at the same time, having boundaries, because
that's what I was about to say. I was like, look, if there's something that I've learned in these last 5 years, I'm going to say boundaries. It's setting boundaries and also learning to say no. And they often fall hand in hand.
Yeah.
You don't need to be... So a lot of people apologize all the time. And I feel like I was that guy. Like I always apologize. And I was like, wait, what are you apologizing for? Is it only because you set a certain standard for yourself and now everybody has that standard for you, which is fine.
Yeah.
But understand that not everyone is you.
Yeah.
So not everyone is going to give you as much as what you give. So it's actually unreasonable to expect that. And then you need to close it off somewhere and be like, well, this is as far as I would go for me, you know. And whether that person is willing to do that for me or not is irrelevant here. I need to set a boundary where it's like, I'm not hurting myself.
True.
I'm not draining myself.
True.
And I'm not depleting myself of my own energy just for someone else's sake.
You shouldn't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm.
There you go. Boom. That was a good one.
Easier said than done. 100%. I'm working on it.
Yeah. And then again, that turns into saying no to people. And that point of saying no to people, it's hard. It's hard to say no to people, especially people that you love.
Yes.
But when it's like self-sacrificial and you're hurting yourself only to say, not to say no to somebody, it goes hand in hand with setting boundaries. So I feel like it's a constant thing and it's very, very subjective to the situation. Because often I find that sometimes I'm in situations where I'm like, okay, usually I wouldn't do this, but I am going to do this because this situation requires it.
But that's circumstantial.
Exactly. But then more or less, let's try to say no more than we say yes to in the situations that we don't want to be in. Let's make a deal. Let's shake on.
Shake on this. All right, she's gonna try. This is her area of growth. It's recorded.
On video.
It's on record. It's official.
But I want to say thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for hosting me in this cursed house. I know. We're gonna go and
sage.
Burn some sage, and do some juju stuff to try to like, you know, have some working equipment next time we do this podcast. But
watch it work next time.
Listen, I'm a producer now, so I'm gonna need this stuff. And if all these other people out there that are
you
gonna
know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna count the amount of times you say producer in a podcast.
I'm gonna have a tag there as well, like Khaled's podcast produced by Khaled.
No, but for real though, he's incredible.
Again, thank you, Adele. Thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for opening up your home to me, and thank you for reaching out to me as well. And also thank you for being such a good trainer, because I didn't touch on, I think you did on the last podcast, but it was just like, we have such a good time at work.
We do.
And it's so enjoyable.
Doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, and I feel like that energy reflects and like it trickles down to all of the clients as well, because I was like, we're having a good time. We enjoy, we look forward to our shifts together, and it's like, that is a good energy to bring to other people, because then they don't have a choice, because we're enjoying ourselves.
Exactly.
So it's like, you got to be really down to not have a good time in our classes, because they're having a good time and they're not even training, you know, they're at work.
Yeah.
It's like, I really enjoy the fact that we look forward to,
I agree.
And we share that, you know what I mean? It's like a good vibe, good energy, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that too.
So, can you give us a little preview on the next podcast, or what are we doing?
All right. So the one that's coming up I'm going to be dropping them every Sunday.
Give yourself a plug. You got to get used to giving yourself a plug.
Okay. Explain that to me.
A plug, man. You got to be like, okay, guys, this is my podcast. This is where you can find me.
Okay.
This is my Instagram.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
That sort of thing. Like,
Okay. Okay.
I'll put it all there in that thing. But like,
okay.
Usually, like people here, if you know me, you know you, right? But not a lot of people know
who
you.
we are. Exactly. True.
Exactly.
True,
Just
true,
like
true.
the other way around.
True.
So it's like, who's this Khaled guy? Who's this Adele guy? Girl, sorry. Binary. Whatever.
It's all good. They, them. It's all good.
Sorry, whoever I offended that.
No.
We're getting cancelled.
We're still getting cancelled. The whole community is just like, not that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Spill the Matcha airs every Sunday. And the next one is going to be about mentality and how it is translated from the gym to real life. I'm going to give that analogy, and I'm going to show people how, like, if you want to work on your mentality, it's got to happen in a controlled environment. And that's the gym. So follow me on Life with Adele. I've got fire content as well.
Yeah. Check out our Instagram.
Yes.
It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube as well.
It is.
Everywhere where you can find me, of course, because
wherever he's at, I'm at.
That's the only things I know how to do.
Not true. Not true.
No.
Humble.
So follow, like, subscribe, do all the good things, and look forward to seeing much more content of us together.
Exactly.
And also listen to Adele's stuff, because it's also got an element of me in there too, because I'm still there, I'm mic'd up, and we're sort of talking to each other. So it's like
you get the best of both worlds.
Exactly. So until next time, guys, peace and love you all.